Next question is from Gemma. Hi Merja, I have been having nightmares since I can remember. I'm so sorry. Back to the question. And recently they are worse. I have been told that it is a dark negative spirit that is attached to me. I have seen it before at night. It scares me. How do you know how to get rid of them? Okay, so first of all, I am so sorry that you're having this experience. Because it's just so tough and it just feels like you can never relax. It just feels like there's always something. You're waiting for the next shoe to drop, so to speak, or the second shoe to drop. And this is not easy. Where you are right now is not easy, and I'm grateful that you've reached out instead of kind of continued to keep going. And if you hear strange sounds, it's one of my dogs snoring. So he's now having dreams as well. And there's often this kind of animals are so intensely intuitive that, you know, he's making these noises, almost feeling like wanting to connect with this question and with you, Gemma, as well. So that's Clifford. Okay, so you've seen this spirit before and it scares you. And I used to have this challenge. For those of you who don't know, I communicate with people who are deceased. I communicate with people from different dimensions. This isn't something that I bring up at work unless it's relevant to work, because it's not something that I want to specialize in. There's a lot there that can be worked with, and what I'm actually and I used to have these spirits turn up in the middle of the night or whatever, and I'd be scared. But what I actually did, I think out of desperation rather than anything else, was I started having a conversation with these spirits. And what actually turned out was that they have a message for me. They're not actually there to do anything bad. They just have a message that I don't have access to unless I'm dreaming, so the subconscious is really open, or I'm in a highly intuitive space. Again, subconscious is very open. So what happened was, and I used to have nightmares as well, what happened was to the nightmares was that once I started the conversations with the messengers, so I instead of calling them kind of negative spirits, I started calling them messengers. And what happened was I said, okay, give me your message and I'll write it down. And I would get the message, I would write it down. And then what happened was my bad dreams morphed into less bad dreams, into less bad dreams, because now these messages, these subconscious messages that I was compressing down were able to come through. So I took the pressure off myself to sense with my sensory faculties, to sense things, and instead I allowed my intuition to come into the play fully. So I stopped denying my intuitive side and started asking for the messages, and it turned out that these people or figures or presences, they weren't actually negative. They were just extremely forceful about bringing the messages because I was compressing and suppressing my intuitive side of me so much. So then when I started having conversations with these people or entities, whatever you want to call them, my nightmares went away because I wasn't suppressing myself anymore. And then the messengers began to take a different form. So now I'm no longer feeling the presences or the negative, the threatening parts or entities around me. Now I'm getting messages from birds. Birds are notorious messengers if you're into Aboriginal or First Nations rituals or knowledge or wisdom, and so a lot of the nightmare, I don't actually get nightmares anymore unless I've had some kind of a big trigger. But even with those nightmares, I now converse with what's actually the message. And then when I write down the message, the nightmare kind of releases itself. But now it's like birds are coming in and I get like an intuitive flash or an intuitive message from the bird. So it just kind of morphs into a different format. So it's no longer this what feels like really threatening. It now becomes this whole different playful approach into getting intuitive messages about things that I need to take into consideration. So I hope that's giving you I hope it's giving you a little bit of a reframe. I hope it's giving you hope, Gemma. I hope that this works for you. I really encourage you to try this because it certainly worked for me, and it just changed everything completely around. It went from these things threatening me, that sense, into me deliberately asking for that message, asking for that source, and then a bird comes, and then if I just stay open to that message, the message comes. And that way I actually have been able to get a lot of intuitive flashes, intuitive wisdom that I haven't before. So was that helpful, Gemma? I'd love to hear from you. Please let me know.